So I just had a client who was put in the friend zone after 5 months of knowing a girl from work. There were some exchanges between them. She was smiling a lot at him. She was very friendly with him. She felt very comfortable with him. But long story short, despite all those good things, she still friend zoned him. So it came to me asking me, what do I do? You see, before even responding, based on my experience, here's what I know. The fact that it's been 5 months and then you asked the girl out on 5 months and then she friend zones you, that basically explains it all. You waited way too long in order to ask her out on a proper date, to take action, but instead you did way too much of this. You talked way too much. The problem with a lot of guys is they talk way too much and they don't do enough action. It's a lot of talking, no action. And it's supposed to be the complete opposite. A lot of action and no talking. Once you meet the girl, you're supposed to ask her out on a date right then and there if you feel like you like her. Because chances are, even if she rejects you, you got that out the way and you move the hell on to another girl who's actually going to appreciate you and go out with you. I used to make these mistakes myself back like 10 years ago when I was still in college, in undergrad. I'd see a girl I'm really interested in one of my classes, and then I'd like help her with homework, which is fine. I wasn't going out of my way to help her. But then again, I would spend way too much time, and then I tell myself, oh yeah, after finals, I'm gonna tell her how I feel. And once I tell her how I feel, she's gonna start to like me because she's going to appreciate that I'm a trustworthy individual. And just looking back at that stuff just makes me cringe. You're not supposed to wait all that time to ask a girl out on a date, guys. This to me right now is just common sense and it's so blatantly obvious, but back then, truthfully, I didn't know any better. And neither did this guy. This guy's a great guy. He's a good looking guy too. He had decent style and he was reading books. He's on the right path in life. He's 20 years old, but he didn't know any better. That's why he waited too long. And guess what else? He was telling his coworkers at work that he really liked this girl. And then guess what they were doing behind his back? They were doing a lot of this, a lot of talking themselves. You see, that's the problem. You shouldn't be telling your coworkers about who you like versus who you dislike because most of them are either untrustworthy, and even if they are trustworthy, a lot of them are big mouths. Like, oh, did you see that this person likes that person? Ha ha. And then they go tell the girl, oh yeah, this guy likes you, by the way. Ha ha. And so it just adds a lot of pressure in between them. That's part of the reason why it didn't work out in the first place. I even felt kind of bad. I'm like, dude, you shouldn't be telling these people that you like this girl. Just keep it on the DL. Keep it between you and her. That's it. It's no one's business. Ask her out after work. During work, you just be a professional. Afterwards, you ask her out. A lot of guys have this problem and then they think, due to their naivety, that if they ask a girl out that she's just going to like them because they're very, honest and they're very trustworthy, they've been a good friend. None of that seems to work, bro. Here's how it works. If you're in college right now, I'm not even joking right now. If you're in college and you like a girl in one of your classes, literally ask her out the day that you know that you're interested in her, even if it's the first day meeting her. If you're interested in her from the first time you meet, after talking for just a couple of minutes and building some rapport, truthfully, just ask her out. Because chances are, even if she rejects you, that's it. You move on to someone else. You move on to someone else. You be quick. Do something else. Learn new experiences. Don't just stay hung up on just one particular girl. A lot of guys do that. I used to do it myself. And as a matter of fact, a lot of these women, they're in the positions of power because they think, okay, yeah, he's all over me. I can make him bend backwards for me. I could start manipulating him and asking him to help me with homework because that's the benefit that I'm going to get out of him. But his benefit is nothing. My benefit is that I get attention out of him and I get help for homework out of him. His benefit, in his own mind, he thinks that that's his way of walking into the house out of the back door, if you will, kind of like in a sneaky way in order to like, yes, she's going to be my girlfriend now because I'm helping her with homework. A lot of guys are naive like this, dude. They don't know any better. I swear to God, truthfully, if I had the skills right now that I had back in my college days, I would have been asking out women right then and there in my classroom in like a playful way to get their number, to take them out. And even if I were rejected, I really wouldn't give two shits. Like, I promise you, I would have moved on, even if I see her every single weekday of the semester. Even if that was the case, because I'm confident enough to know that there's nothing wrong with that. Yet somehow a lot of guys are embarrassed by the fact that, oh, I asked her out and other people know about it. Oh shit, that sucks. No, it doesn't suck. You're just being honest. You were rejected for being honest and rejected for indicating your desire. Should you be embarrassed about that? There's nothing embarrassing about that. You go ahead and you move on to another girl. And that other girl's gonna like you. Then the first girl might be like, oh yeah, now I'm jealous. And now you have other girls competing for your attention. I know that's very immature, but a lot of college girls think like that, unfortunately. But if you're in college, you need to have experiences. Not necessarily just sex. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about experiences with women. So that when you're in your late 20s, early 30s, and you want to settle down at that age, if that's what you want, then you have enough experience to the point where you built enough experience and you get to know who you want to choose and you know what you like versus what you dislike, as opposed to the average guy. The average guy doesn't know this. He jumps on the first opportunity to get because he can't get anything better than that. He settles. The average guy settles. And here's another piece of advice that I actually believe is really beneficial to anyone who's going through this or just to anyone who wants to learn this stuff. I was asking my client during our session. Well, first he asked me, what should I tell her? How should I text her if she responds to me? How should I do this? How should I do that? I'm like, dude, let me ask you a question. I'm gonna stop you right there. If Leonardo DiCaprio was to be put in a situation where he was interested in a girl, do you think that he would think thoughts like, what should I text this girl? How should I seem in order to attract her? Should I say this or should I say that? He obviously responded no, and I'm like, exactly, he wouldn't. Why? Because this man is high status, he has high SMV. You should carry yourself the same way, even if that's not how you are right now. You should say whatever the hell you want to say, as long as you're not disrespecting anyone or putting anyone down. You live life on your terms. You ask the woman out because that's what you want, not what she wants. It may be what she wants, it may not be what she wants, but either way, it's none of your business. How she perceives it and how she reacts, it's none of your business. You do your part. The way to get out of the friend zone is to stop acting like a goddamn friend. Have some balls, have some assertiveness about you. Women always appreciate it. Even if she rejects you, she's gonna be like, you know what, I appreciate the fact that this guy asked me out. A lot of you guys are in the friend zone because you literally dug up a hole for yourself and you put yourself in that goddamn hole. You put yourself in the friend zone because you acted like just a friend for weeks, months, sometimes even years. It's ridiculous. Some of the stories I've heard, I'm just like, oh my goodness, like, I kind of even feel bad for these guys. So anyways, back to being in a position where you're acting like a high status male and hopefully become that high status man. A great way to start becoming high status is to start interacting with a lot of women until you eventually become really good at attracting women. I've talked about this in at least 20 other videos. A great rule of thumb that I coach my clients and I talked about in a million videos is to approach 100 different attractive women who are strangers over the course of the month in a place that you don't normally frequent. Maybe a mall, maybe something like that. I personally recommend a mall, as long as not a lot of people in that mall know you. And then you talk to them about whatever. I'm not gonna tell you what to talk about them. As long as you don't approach them from the back, you're going to realize that eventually you're going to pick up skills to literally talk to any woman at any place and any time. That's the key. When you have that skill, you're gonna have that confidence about you that you can approach any girl and you could get rejected because you're gonna get rejected a lot of times throughout that month where you approach 100 different attractive women. But the ones who you do get their numbers, you're gonna feel really successful about them because it's not about the numbers in and of themselves. It's about the confidence you had that you built in order to make that happen. And most guys dig themselves into a shitty hole of the friend zone because they put themselves in there. They're not thinking like the high value man, just like Leonardo DiCaprio. Instead, they're thinking like the typical average beta male, below average beta male. Oh, should I say this to her? Should I say that to her? If she says this, what should I say to counter it? No, you live on your own terms. If she says some shit you don't like, be like, all right, this part of our relationship is over. God bless you, but this part of our relationship is over. I don't see why we should continue being friends. Because most likely she's gonna say that, oh no, I'm hurt, blah, blah, blah. You say, listen, sorry, I really am attracted to you, but you don't feel the same way about me, and that's totally fine. Therefore, it was nice knowing you, and I wish you nothing but the best. And then you move on. Move on to a different woman, move on to a different experience, whatever it is, and start fresh with several different women so you can build your own experience. The whole idea isn't just about several different women just for the sake of having lots of women. It's about experiences if you are not experienced. And a good rule of thumb when it comes to the friend zone or when it comes to just attracting women in general, or at least stating your intent, is always come from a position of honesty. Don't come from a position of going through loopholes and going around the issue, circling around it just because you don't want to seem this way or that way. No, just be honest. Be a polarizing individual sometimes. Sometimes you just have to be a polarizing individual where you state your intent and you're very bold. If they don't like you, they don't like you. That's fine. But some people will love you for that. State your intention, be honest, then just go do your thing, bro. Not everything is about, oh, what's she gonna feel about this? What's she gonna feel about that? And you know what's ironic? When you think about these situations that way, what is she gonna think if I say this or if I say that? Those same behaviors are what cause her to be repelled in the first place because it shows in your body language, it shows in the way you're looking at her, it shows that you're not confident, it shows that you're very fidgety and uncertain. Instead, when you're bold and you're going after what you want, she respects that. That's what a man does. Most men nowadays can't do that. They can't even fathom doing that. The example I just gave you of approaching 100 different attractive women who are strangers over the course of the month, the average man will shit his pants just thinking about potentially even doing that. That's way out of his comfort zone. He can't even fathom doing that. But you, on the other hand, if you're serious, you will do that in order to develop the skill set to talk to women at any place, anytime. And this is a pretty valuable skill because you literally never know. If you're still a college student, this could really help you. It could be during common hour where everyone's having lunch in college, and you could just approach an attractive girl and be like, hey, is anyone sitting here? She'll be like, no, and then you just sit right there. You have a conversation with her, and you never know where that conversation will take you. But instead, if you're like most guys and you're super shy and you only stick to what you know and you only stick to your group of friends and you're so timid and you're like this, and then when you're interested in a woman, you tell all your friends, and then they find a way to kind of pep talk you to talk to her over the course of 2 months, and then when you finally ask her out, she says no, and then you get heartbroken. What good is that for you? You know how much months some guys waste on obsessing over this shit? You, on the other hand, be bold. You see a girl you like, talk to her right away. Who cares if people are looking? That's gonna build muscles within you. Muscles like I don't give a fuck type of muscles. Muscles where you don't care what people think of you. What you think of you is what matters. And so honestly, man, after truthfully living this way, not just watching this video, because this video in and of itself isn't of value unless you actually apply the things that I teach. If you actually start living this way, like actually, you will never find yourself in the friend zone again, because either A, you're gonna get the girl, or B, the girl will reject you and then you're going to reject the offer of friendship. You're gonna be like, hell no, I'm not doing this. You know what I mean? I think you're really attractive. I think you're really this, you're really that, whatever you honestly feel about her. And then she rejects you, that's fine, you move on. But you don't stay as a friend and hide your feelings and tell your coworkers, who most likely most of them are very immature or untrustworthy or uneducated or not socially calibrated. You tell them, then they're doing a bunch of this, yipping and yapping and talking, and that's not any good for you. But what is good for you is to stick to being honest and bold. How do you become bold? Like I said, 100 different attractive women who are strangers. You see, the whole reason why you're watching this video is because you have a collection of thoughts and ways and habits that are not conducive to your own productivity and to the life that you want to live. It's called a paradigm. It's a collection of all those things, a mindset. You have a very limited and scarce mindset. Instead, you have to switch from that to an abundance mindset, which you can, but it needs some work. The first rule for this is to just be bold and honest. With women from now on, just be bold and honest. If they try to get you to do something and they try to manipulate you, oh, please, can you do this for me, please? You're very sweet if you do this for me. And then they say, oh yeah, if you don't do this, oh, I thought you were nice. Be like, I just don't want to do it. Not everything has to be conforming to what a woman wants. Learn to be bold. If that's anything you learn from this video, just learn to be bold and honest. As long as, again, you're respectful, you're not some dickhead. That's why if you really want to change your life to the better, you have to make a mindset shift and you have to go out of your comfort zone, dude. You can't just keep doing things the same way that you used to do and then expect a different result. It just doesn't work that way. You're going to have to suffer a little bit. You're going to have to go through periods of a little bit of pain. Just a little bit. You're gonna have to push outside your comfort zone just a little bit. You're gonna have to challenge yourself, because when you challenge yourself, you get used to challenging yourself and you get used to producing the kind of results you want. And then you keep doing this, you keep doing this, you keep doing this. It becomes part of who you are. That becomes your new paradigm. That's what you need to focus on. That old mindset, fold it up, pick it up and throw it in the trash. Adopt that new mindset by doing what I said in this video, and I promise you will be gold in just a short amount of time. I promise you.